Hello, squishies. I do believe I'm live, but I will wait the necessary 20 seconds to receive confirmation from one of you, hopefully waiting in the wings. YouTube at least tells me that I am positively connected, which is a good start, I suppose, but while we're doing this, I'll make the usual posts in the usual places saying that probably, possibly, maybe we are actually live. Let's see here. Where did I do that? And no one's responding, which makes me a little concerned. Uh-oh. This doesn't seem good. There we go. Okay, finally. Whew. Y'all got me worried. I never know how well this system actually works. Because, good lord. Alright, this is the usual 5-minute Ask Me Anything beginning of the episode, so to speak, live stream, whatever you want to call it. And just because we don't like the whole, let's wait for everyone to join the meeting bullshit that apparently happens on your planet with such a regular basis. Well, then I'll just keep rambling, because I was speaking with some of the minions around the shipyard a couple days ago, and apparently there is a snail gastropod, I'm not even sure what the difference is between those terms, on your planet that literally uses iron from subaquatic volcanic vents to not only build its shell, but it extrudes like scaly, almost like chainmail across what little squishy surface it has. It's literally an armor-plated snail, but even beyond your standard snail. It's actually using metal in its construction, for lack of a better word. And the minions totally didn't believe me about this, and I had to finally look it up because it's absolutely bonkers. And it's called the Chrysomalin squamiferum, I think. Latin is not my first language, obviously. And yeah, you have a species on your planet that makes its own iron armor. How bizarre is that? Okay, the fungus elite class is even more scary. I'll give you that. How hard is it to rearm a U.S. Navy destroyer in 2024? Well, it depends on what you mean by rearm. If we're just referring to the actual VLS, the vertical launch system, and I did my best to not say VLS system because that's again redundant, ATM machine and all that. If you're just talking about the VLS, it's actually not that hard. Obviously, the destroyers can't do it themselves. I do believe there are specialized merchant marine ships that can help with the process, but it's mostly a short-side pier kind of situation. And the entire system is designed to be plug and play. You basically strap a hook onto the top of one of the cells, yank out the empty, and then drop in a new one. And it's basically that's complicated. I mean, it's obviously a little more complicated than that. You have to tell the system what kind of cell you're putting into it, whether it's a Tomahawk, a Harpoon, a standard missile, a RIM, rolling airframe missile, all those different kind of variations on a theme. But it's basically just pop one out and stick a new one in. Kind of like your old, what are they called, VCR machines? Yeah. In terms of the actual 5-inch main gun that they carry, it's a lot more complicated. You have to open up a hatch and basically manually insert the powder cases and then the actual projectiles. I don't know if there's a mechanical system that optimizes that for you. The other weapons on board boil down to the torpedo system, which are definitely basically hand cranked into place. Everyone hates those Mark 46s because they're a pain in the ass, and they can't typically be stored in the torpedo tubes themselves, mostly because of the very, dangerous auto fuel. It self-oxidizes, therefore bad. And then the harpoon cells on the back aren't actually cells. They're a quad launcher that you basically just pop the whole damn thing off and put a new one on. It's kind of like a disposable RPG launcher, just shooting a much larger rocket-propelled thing, not a grenade. Hey, somebody got the timing right. Woot! All right. Yes, the snail thing is fascinating, Cortova. It's absolutely bizarre. I can't wait until your bioengineers get a hold of whatever the hell allows it to do this and does something really exciting with it, because that's just going to be weird. All right. I think I've waited long enough. We've got 25 of y'all here on board. And, yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and kick this off, assuming I have the game open. I do appear to. That's always good. Let's see here. How do I do this? There we go. All right. We are back at FTL. I think, we just jumped into an NG sector, if I remember the timing of everything correctly. And I want to take a moment and appreciate just how concerned a commenter on the YouTubes was about the current configuration and loadout of the ship, and the fact that I insisted on using the pike beam instead of the dual burst lasers we installed on this thing. Apparently the dual bursts are good enough to take down the end game boss ship. I'm not sure I believe that, but it's at least a pretty good start. And then obviously there's me being just negligent with my crew and running around half a sector with half the engine powered down, because, I'm totally paying attention to exactly what's going on in the game. Yeah, the good news, Typhonus 007, is I think I just saw a headline from your planet that the North American continent now has an overabundance of honeybees. So at least there's that. It seems to be a coming and going thing. Because after all, those little flappy, impossible to fly things are significantly important to your ecosystem. Yeah, I know. Where is it? Cortova, you're right about the math, but I'm just not sure it does damage to the actual vehicle fast enough to be able to be effective against it. But I guess when supplementing it with, say, an Artemis launcher or something like that, it might actually work out in the end. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We are nowhere near the final boss yet. Well, it looks like I'm going north, because that's the only option available to me. I mean, that distance isn't that much greater than that distance, but apparently it's too much. Can I buy a cube crush? So, I keep trying to figure out how to get smaller cubes to your planet for retail purposes. It is astonishingly more difficult than you could even believe, but let's just go with we're working on it. Well, I mean, how many scientists on your planet are not frequently inebriated, Lawrence? And frankly, I mean, if you look at the average bumblebee, given how fuzzy it is, you just look at it and go like, yeah. Where are you hiding the little tiny anti-gravity belt, man? Because we could use that technology. It would be totally awesome. All right, heading north. A refueling station is stationed at this beacon. A refueling station is stationed. If it weren't stationed, I'd be concerned. We can purchase fuel here. I would assume that you could purchase fuel at a refueling station. I mean, I would almost enjoy having a refueling station that sold weapons, for example. That would be even better. All right, what's our fuel situation? We're at 10. Yeah, we should probably buy some fuel. That doesn't seem like a bad idea. Well, I thought Lex's ship was based on a different design on your planet, but it's been a minute since I've seen it. Alright, so we're going to buy some fuel because, like I said, it doesn't hurt to have fuel. Because we can't jump without it! Alright, now once again, the Rebel fleet, since apparently we are the Federation, will be approaching from the left side of the screen. And if I go right... Okay, if I go here, I can still actually hit this spot and go down here. Or I can go this way. But once we commit one way or the other, it looks like we'll be stuck for a bit until we get back to the exit. So this galactic core is apparently blocking the whatever FTL drives this particular species uses. So Panzer, if you know someone who can actually V-tube a fucking cube, I am willing to do that. I just haven't been able to find a V-tube artist who can actually figure out that all I want is a deleted cube that, acts like a face, since you guys are so anthropomorphized and all that. But yeah, we are not artists here at the shipyard, so we haven't gotten around to making such a thing ourselves. Yeah, see, everyone keeps saying Lex is a dragonfly, but I'm just saying if you look at it from the back end, you'll get the idea that it was based off something else entirely. The NG seem to have avoided this particular node along with every other life form. You keep your eyes peeled for reasons why, but spin up the FTL without a vent. Okay, maybe it's just me who sees a certain design built into the features of Lex. I'll have to put up a Twitter poll and see if anyone else sees it as well. Because yeah, I guess it's just Oh, damn it! Oh boy, if we go there, we're definitely going to get caught by the rebels. So do we help people or do we keep scooting along? Because, yeah, you got the two large, sort of roundish parts at the front, and then a very long stern section, and I'm sure it's hard, and, yeah. You know, that's the kind of stuff. Stress equals stress. Well, doesn't die mean two in some language or another? So now you're doubling your stress, in fact. All right, we've got 3 votes for move on and 1 for save them. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, I'll even give you an extra vote for being a member, Cortova, but it doesn't seem like enough. I mean, all right, Rodent. The Starship is a rocket ship as God and Heinlein intended, but you're not wrong. You arrive at a Zoltan research facility. It's amazing how many species are in other species' sectors. They say they are researching genetic distortion due to stasis sleep and prolonged FTL. They ask if your crew has the time to undergo a few scans. So, yeah, I mean, I don't mind my crew getting scanned necessarily, but the time thing has me concerned. What do y'all think? I mean, the rebels are coming, which is still funny that I have to run away from the rebels, but, you know, different games and all that. Sounds like a yes, that sounds good. The UD4 is from, what now, is that aliens? I always get crosswired on the designations. UD4, dropship. Yeah, this is Cheyenne, okay. I always know it as the Cheyenne, not the UD4. UD4 versus Pelican. Ugh. That's a complicated question, isn't it? I'll think on that while we do the study. Your crew calmly lines up with the Zoltans to take their readings. After a short time, the process is done. They contact you. Thank you for your participation in our study. Please accept these small cakes made from stiff dough as well as some scrap. So they gave us hardtack and scrap. Well, I guess that makes a certain degree of sense, doesn't it? And now that I've actually had the time to think about it, I'm going to have to give the win to the Cheyenne simply because it can actually carry that awesome armored personnel carrier. I mean, I know the Pelican can carry the Scorpion, but we haven't done an episode about the Scorpion yet, and we really need to because, oh my dear fucking great maker, there's a lot going on with that thing. All right, anyways, we got some scrap. And now it is time to move on. I heard a vote for north earlier, so I guess we should keep going north and to see how many systems we can hit before they catch up with us. Looks like we got another choke point here, so we have to go through this one. Admiral Throne, is that like Admiral Yeet? I've heard they're both very interesting individuals. Well, I mean, there's an argument with Widgren 87 that a lot of the quote-unquote protein bars on your planet are simply modernized hardtack. Their shelf life is functionally infinite. They provide a basic modicum of nutrients, although obviously significantly higher than the hardtack of old, and they're enough to keep you alive. I'm not sure you would do well to eat them, and that's all you eat, but, you know, it's true for hardtack, too. Alright, I'm going to go north, because why not? I don't know. Yeah, north seems good. Your sensors have picked up a refugee ship drifting through the system, no doubt one of many fleeing the rebel advance. It doesn't appear to have detected you, or else it is trying to avoid notice. I'm going to hail them anyways, because we always try to help people here at the shipyard after all. And I mean, come on. So the one thing that bugs me about this whole Rebel Federation thing is that rebels are typically the underdog of the fight. And here the Federation is running away from the rebels. They've stopped being rebels at that point and started being the new power in the system, since they are apparently just curb stomping the available current power. At some point, you stop being rebels and you start being the establishment yourself. And it seems like if the old establishment is rapidly fleeing, then that situation has, you know, the tables have turned, or the turns have tabled, or whatever the hell the term. And yes, it's probably going to be a fight. But after all, we have all the guns. I mean, I literally can't put any more guns on the ship. Alright, we're going to hail them. The vessel is relieved to hear from you. They are running low on supplies. They suggest a trade. Why do they need... I don't need droids, drones, robots, because I don't even have a robot control system. So I'm sorry, guys, but this is a pass. So somebody, it might have been you, Bren, in YouTube's. I am stereotypically horrible with names. We use other things to identify ourselves around the shipyard, but it might have been you. But someone mentioned that on the YouTube something earlier, and I need to look it up. Once we finish this run through, we might try another game, but I'll certainly look up the expansion and see how it works out. And yes, I have in fact played Hardspace Shipbreaker. It's very much not a work-safe game if I'm playing it, so I have been shying away from it. We'll maybe give that a shot with the explicit warnings that it will be, well, explicit. Alright, we gotta move on from here, right? Because we're just idling. Hey, there's a store. So we're gonna head south and see if we can get some more scrap, and then head north and see what we can buy at the store. Ah, boy. This beacon has been placed too close to a supergiant Class M star. That seems not great. The ship will gradually overheat until you get out of here, or die. A pirate, apparently oblivious to the danger of the sun, moves in to engage, because he's a moron. Alright. We're going to pause. Since we already have the doohickey on board, the pre-charger, we can just hammer into this guy and make this a very short fight. We might as well toss a missile at him too, just drive home the point. Because, let's see, what can we whack with this? We'll hit that. And the missile missed! Of course the missile missed. Crying out loud. Come on, guys, get rid of this pirate before we can catch on fire and die. Alright, yeah. They offered to give you some of their goods if you don't destroy their ship, but they are pirates. We're probably going to get more, or we're probably going to get less if they destroy our ship. Or we would definitely get less if they destroyed our ship, but that doesn't seem very likely, does it? We will probably get less if we destroy their ship, but you know the policy here at Sacred Cow Shipyards about pirates. And yeah, Wake Robots, it doesn't make any sense. The Federation, I mean, a Federation is a group of entities, right? An alliance of like-minded, at least individuals, if not hopefully systems. And where the fuck are they? Does it get you into power? Ones that keep you into power. Well, that is an amazing quote, Sean. You're right. The history on your planet very clearly shows that either rebellions start turning on their own, or those who were in charge of the rebellion, they typically don't quietly go into retirement, so they have to be, you know, encouraged to do that. Details. No, that's not a hard one, Panzer. That obviously goes to the Lehman Russ. The Scorpion is a hot pile of steaming mess. We ain't dead yet. Might be getting there, but we're not dead yet. Because the solar flare should be incoming any moment now. Let's kill this pirate, get our FTL drive charged, and get the hell out of here. Ah, dang it. Here comes... And as I called it, we did actually get less stuff. Although we got fuel. They were offering us missiles before, and I think we got maybe more scrap. So actually, this may have worked out for the best. Aside from the imminent solar flare. Crap. Charge faster, you FTL drive. Yeep! We might have gotten zapped. A message arrives. Your scrap ours. Our weapons for you. Well, that doesn't seem ominous. You're about to raise your shields when you realize that it's just an NG trader looking for trade. Yeah, we got to work on their linguistification. Is my ship burning right now? Because I would like to verify that. Okay, my ship is not burning. Cool. That solar flare really unnerved me. All right. Oh, boy. Reverse ion field? Protects your ship from ion damage, giving a 50% chance to negate it entirely. Fascinating. All right. What else they got? Heavy laser. Power 1, charge time 9 seconds, shots per charge 1, normal damage 2, fire chance low. Woo! So I'm proposing that we swap out the pike beam, which takes 2 power, for the heavy laser, which just takes the 1 and might be more effective. I might be able to use it instead of the Artemis for normal combat. So that seems like a really good idea. And yeah, NG crew members would be really nice. Where could we put those guys? We have doors and doors. We could put them in doors, or just reconfigure the crew entirely, but still, NG are awesome. Hey, glad to have you, Andrew Willis. He's not heavy, he's my brother. Mom back. Alright, yeah. Federation just wants your taxes. I mean, technically, that's not entirely wrong. Yes, I do want the World War I Cold War redacted over the Chad Scorpion sci-fi tank. We're going to do an episode about Scorpion. It's not going to be next week, because next week has an obvious episode topic, and then I need to figure out stuff after that. Also, we'll be announcing a new fundraiser next week, in case you have some spare change hiding in your lounging furniture. Remind me what the repair arm does. Repairs your hull every time you collect scrap, but reduces scrap collected by 15%. Yeah? I mean, repairing yourself typically is a good idea. Alright, I think I'm going to go with the plan of selling the pike beam, which gets us 27. That's not bad. And then buying... How does this, can I do both? I can do both. And then buying the heavy laser. Okay. Nope. Did the sell commit? No, how do I sell? Sell value. There we go. Oh, I put it in cargo. Oh, you can just hold on to it. Yeah, well, I don't need the pike beam necessarily. Can I reconfigure these here? Oh, yeah. Nice. Okay. I love click and drag interfaces. All right. Let's see here. Popular vote. We can either get an NG crew member, and I do love me some NG crew members, or we can get a repair arm. Y'all's call. I'm willing to play along with either option. I mean, the Rebels could be many separate groups, but still, they seem to massively outnumber the Federation for some reason. Gilbert Hubert here? Yeah, I'm sorry, Woodgren. The timing is kind of horrible in relation to when the USA government at least comes for their pound of flesh. I don't know when other nations do it, but yeah, maybe I should time this better. But unfortunately, the episode is going out next week regardless, And I found an interesting tie-in with a certain very lovely individual on your planet that I'm going to use as a means for generating revenue for her very awesome charity that she runs. So, well, we're stuck with what it is, unfortunately. All right. It sounds like the majority would prefer the NG, and I tend to agree with you. I'm going to go with Yaws, because that sounds more like an NG name as opposed to Jack. Alright. Alright, Yaws, I guess you get to learn how to do doors. Good for you. Come here, Yaws. Where are you? Oh, not that door. Have a good one, Typhonus. Alright, let's see here. We got everything manned up. Our people are learning skills appropriately, which is good. Aside from Yaws, who needs some time to catch on to his new job. And now I believe the ship is fully manned. Oh no, actually our weapons guy is doing an amazing job. Who's that? Grozzly! Grozzly has increased our weapon recharge time. Nice. I do not do Twitch streams. I haven't figured it out yet, to be bluntly honest. And since most of my audience is on YouTube, I figure I might as well keep it on YouTube. The episodes are supposed to automatically propagate over to Odyssey and Rumble. I have not been keeping track of that, and I don't know how well it's actually working, so I should probably check on that at some point. Well, if he didn't do a bad job, then why did he get fired? That doesn't seem very nice and introverted extrovert. Come on, man. Alright, anyways, here we go. We have 37 scrap. Can we do any kind of upgrades with our 37 scrap? We can upgrade our engines once, which doesn't do me a whole lot of good. We can upgrade the med bay. Might be handy. I don't typically not have a pilot in the cockpit, so I don't need to worry about piloting. I don't really care about seeing the enemy interior, honestly. And somehow I still can, maybe because I have a... Oh, because I have a person there already. I don't care. And doors are too expensive. Alright. We'll just hold on to it for now. Do-do-do-do. What's with all the gray? Well, there aren't any grays on board, so at least there's that. And sadly, I can't actually change the color of the ship. The red stripes are kind of weird, although I guess they are the engine, so you know. Alright, let's see. I think it's time to get ahead of the Rebel Advance. Where can we go in the end? We go here, we go here, we go here, here, and here. That'll... Oh, look at that! More memberships! Eclipse Warlord, you are awesome, and you keep doing this over and over again, and we'll love you for it. Nice. Ah, good on you, introverted extrovert. You gotta be dispassionate about these kind of things. There we go. Oh, that's the gray he was talking about. Yeah, okay, fine. I totally know what I'm doing, don't I? Good lord. Alright, we're at the store, we're moving on. I was confused too, Widgren, don't worry. Oh no. You receive a stress call from a nearby NG ship. A stress squared call, in fact. Assistance requested, danger present, imminent destruction. Well, Rodent, bad news. You're now green, so now you can't. Alright, I am actually going to go increase my stress significantly. Because, well, actually, as we've all talked about, distress is just stress at least doubled, if not squared. But I do love me some NGs, so I don't want them to die, necessarily. Unless they're pirates, in which case they made their choices. Of course. You receive another message from the ship, this time with a mantis at the comm log. God damn it. Foolish meat sacks! Oh, he sounds awesome. He yells. Sensors indicate the ship is moving into attack, and boarders teleport from the station? Station? What station? I thought we were helping a ship, and I forgot to turn on the weapons. Oh, crap. This is bad. Alright. Our precharger doesn't do a darn thing if I don't remember to turn on the weapons, does it? Oopsie-doo. Alright, we have a single mantis jumping into here, why don't I just vent him? I mean, seems like a great option, right? Well, he's going to suffocate out there because he ain't getting through that door anytime soon. Oh, no, he did. Doggone it. All right, time to close that door. Time to grab our guys from engine, come and help, and maybe our Engie dude can come and help as well because he's got better combat, I think, than the other guys. Zap, zap, zap. All right, he died. Engie, go back to your doors. Lagarde, I think you were doing engines. I should have saved everything. I forgot to do that too. I, again, clearly know what I'm doing. Well, their weapons are clearly heavily disabled at this point. Oh, no, their shields are. I haven't been shooting their shields. I meant to shoot their weapons, but hey, shields are down, so that's that. And they have some defense drone of some sort. Oh yeah, he's hosed. Alright. For some reason, some mantises, got a hold of an NG Taurus ship and decided to do naughty things with it. And hopefully they learned their lesson right before they expired. Alright. We got some fuel, we got some missiles, we got some scrap. Nice. So NG, I think they're weaker, but they have better fight capability. Hold on. No, he has 100 health, so he's actually the same as humans. But he has 10% more crew damage, apparently. And I should take a moment and make sure my crew is all nice and healed up, because like Grosley here is kind of banged up, and Lagarde's kind of banged up as well. And let's see what we have going on here. How do you do, fellow students? Students? Come listen at my knee! If I had knees. Well, Woodgren, at least you have an excuse for not understanding what kind of gray he was talking about. I didn't. Oops. Let's see here. Lagarde goes back to engines. He goes, not you. You go back to weapons, and then I save this whole setting. I don't think they have a combat penalty. Come here, Yaz. 10% more crew damage. Is that more damage to him, or is that more damage to the other guy? Because he's doing kind of weird things. Yeah, maybe Yaz is not in the up and up, is he? Well, good of you to point that out, Bren. Thank you. We'll have to keep an eye on him. Well, Rodent, you have to be careful about that green, because, well, as you also pointed out, there's also purple. Yeah, you'd be right. Whoa. Sicha Montellado. That, man. All right. Your usernames are starting to challenge my linguistification capabilities. The problem is I hadn't actually saved the new crew configuration setting after we got the new NG guy. So I should do that. There we go. And yes, it is enter. Because, you know, I'm so fond of hotkeys. All right. Let's see what else going on here. Mandalorians. Now I want to see a praying mantis-styled creature in a Mandalorian helmet. Because that... how would the slit work? It would have two slits? How? I'm confused. Yeah, I know, it took an effort. I mean, the Cask of Montellado is obviously a story I'm familiar with, and the Sieges of Dune are also something I'm familiar with, but that's a combination. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, but the two eyes are on the opposite side of its the head-shaped thing, right? It's been a minute since I've seen a praying mantis, so I may be misremembering. Anyways, all right, we took out the pirate. We fixed our people. I think they're all at 100%. Looks good. We have our weapons actually pre-charged this time, so if we jump into combat, we'll actually be ready instead of flat-footing it out. And it looks like we're all good to go. Why is our... that's concerning, but it's not actually concerning because we just simply vented the airlocks. So technically it's correct that 82% of the ship is vented, but that's by design. Oh, you might be right, Orofino. That could be it could be just an upgrade on his base handicap, I suppose. Interesting choice of username, though. That event called Boomer Shoot I talked about a few episodes back, where people go out and shoot explosive targets out in the middle of a lentil field, I believe it was, is actually just outside of a town called Orofino on your planet, and then in the North American area. Very coincidental, that. I think it's actually coming up next month, if I remember the schedule. If you haven't seen the episode, it's about the explosions in space and how they basically don't work. Although in atmosphere, they're quite entertaining. Oh, and yes, I forgot Wake Robertson. Thank you very much for reminding me. This is, in fact, the 40th pre-anniversary of First Contact Day. Fair warning to humans, you have approximately 40 years to figure out FTL drive, specifically warp drive, to be noticed by the Vulcans. I'm not sure how that's going to work out in the end, but I'm sure it will be entertaining. All right. I don't like my choices. If I go here, and then here, and then here, or... I'm pretty sure I can hit at least 3, maybe 4 spots before we have to bug out. If I go to one of these two, we're pretty much committed to that one, which seems annoying. 39 years? Yeah, I'm really good at math. Yeah, I've heard about the B5 reboot, Rodent, but I am not sure about it. Oh, that's fascinating, Orfino. I hadn't actually looked up the what is it? The etymology. The confusion between those two terms bugs me to no end. I think it's the etymology of the term. It's actually in the middle of the. I believe the town is in the middle of a First Nations reservation. The Nez Perce, if I remember right. So it is not at all, I guess, historically inaccurate that the town be named after a Spanish term, given what the Spanish did to said First Nations in the southern parts of the North American continent. And I agree, there needs to be a B5 continuation, not a reboot. It was a good enough story as it stood by itself. You don't need more of it. Sorry, you do need more of it, obviously. That's why I want a continuation. You don't need to redo what's already been done. That's what I was trying to say. All right, I think I've decided to go this way, because why not? Oh, goody gracious. A missile shoots across your bow when the jump completes. Your scans quickly reveal that a ship with pirate markings... God damn it! Why are there so many pirates? NGs! What is wrong with your system security? Pursuing an unknown vessel, the pirate hails you. Damn it! We weren't expecting company. Stay out of this and you could profit. Yeah. Pirates think they can buy me off. I don't think that's going to work the way you think it's going to work, guys. I guess we have to save another person. I mean, at least it's a light cruiser, although the hyphen is kind of confusing. Relationship currently neutral, about to be hostile. And it just went hostile. I love it. I love it. The pirate ship stops its pursuit and locks weapons onto your ship. All right. Let me catch up real quick. Oh, good lord. You guys are occasionally quite talkative. You know that? Who needs warp drive? You can just paint the ship red. Well, technically that's true, but only if you're an orc and you believe hard enough. I'm not sure humanity has achieved that level of force of will yet. Maybe one day. And fair point, Cordova. It could be that the system security was in fact handled by the Federation, who is currently in retreat by way of the rebels. Once again, they're mucking up everything, you jerks. Alright. So, you're right, Rodent, about B5 not aging well. I think a lot of that is because of the graphics of the time and how they were somewhat limited, and how some of the footage, I think, got lost or something, or some of the original files for some of the original graphics were lost. I forget the particular story. But there have been some amazing upscaling attempts on YouTube, at least, that I'm aware of, and possibly elsewhere, where the quality improves massively. And it's worth rewatching, because suddenly you see all the details that were not very clear the first time around. Well, Bren, it's not always guaranteed that I actually win my combat. I mean, at least the first time around we played this, I accidentally vented my entire crew. Accidentally. Quote, unquote. I mean, yeah, Master Ridley, you're right. The orcs actually treat tech like functionally magic. It works because I say so. And that's why we probably won't be talking about their particular equipment on the channel, because really, like, their rocket ships are simply tin cans full of bolts that are just loose, but they believe that they can actually launch themselves into space in those, and so, therefore, they can. There's not a whole lot else to talk about in that. Alright. Let's see here. Okay, we were going to do some shooting, right? Some shooting. What does he got? He's got a burst laser and a breach bomb. We do not like breach bombs. Breach bombs bad. Weapons first, shield second. Goodbye, weapons. Blap! Alright, weapons are down hard. Let's go for shields next, because they're getting in my way. And we significantly injured one of their crew members, which, I mean, pirates and all, so... Oh, that thing charges faster? That's annoying. Ah, their shields are down too. Nice. Fine, our previous offer was not generous enough. Let's improve it. Accept the more generous bribe and leave, which obviously we're not going to do. And reject their offer and continue our assault, which is probably what we're going to do. Yeah, I mean... Master Ridley's right. Someone slapped a tube onto a box and said, "Hey, it's a gun," and suddenly you can insert shells into the gun or rocks into the gun, or it doesn't really matter, into the gun, and it shoots a projectile at something else because it works, right? I don't know why to talk about that. At least the Imperium maintains some degree of, like, technology. Pretty much every other species maintains some degree of technology as well, aside from the Tyranids, of course, and we don't talk about squishy things because ew. Alright, as stated, we are not going to take their bribe, and we're going to continue hammering away at their ship, because that's what we do to pirates. We'll slug another heavy laser at their weapons so they don't get those back online again. Blarp. Oh, come on, guys! A little better accuracy on the guns. Bam. Alright. Well, that didn't work out for us. The bribe was actually better than the scrap we got in the end. But, you know, these things happen. We got one... There's one less pirate in the universe, which I consider a win, personally. But now... Oh, dang it. You were too late. A hull breach deprived the crew of oxygen during your fight with a pirate. You salvage what you can. So the poor people we were trying to save, sadly expired. Now we've got enough scrap to do some interesting upgrades on our ship, I think. I'm betting we can do a double shield upgrade, which seems like a total win. 100 plus... Yep, we can! I hope. Behold! 3 shield bubbles. This will make us not totally indestructible, because missiles still bypass shields, as do breach bombs and all the rest of that, but still it'll do a whole lot better for us. Alright. What's going on here? I have to catch up. And yeah, you're right, Rodent, no last name. Episodes back in the time when you had commercial breaks were structured very differently than in the live streaming universe you currently exist in. Where, not live streaming, but simply streaming. Where things had defined segments they had to fit into, and the story had to accommodate the 2 to 3 minute break you experienced. And you went up and got a drink or relieved yourselves or whatever the hell it is you did, and then you came back and had to slot back into it, as opposed to simply powering through, binging on it all the way until whenever, and being able to pause whenever. It was a tremendously different format at the time. And now that reminds me, I need to actually do an episode on Titan AE, because, yeah. I mean, we're not going to do an episode on the dredge themselves. We will do an episode on some of the ships, perhaps, or we'll do an episode on one and then an episode on another, maybe. The dredge are complicated. I do love their name, especially given how it all turned out. Yes, so Lawrence Frazier, as I may have mentioned this previously in another episode, about how it's not clear where the ammunition on, say, even like the Titans in Warhammer is stored. They're such large vehicles, but they shoot such large shells, and where is all that put? Even on their warships, again, enormously large vehicles. We just did a collaboration that I think I posted in YouTube with some folks about talking about the Imperial Navy in Warhammer 40,000. And the shells are enormous. The ships are huge, but there's not enough internal space to accommodate all of it. So where's it all coming from? But in fairness, I will point out that Battletech, MechWarrior, that entire universe, also has a weird problem with where the hell do you put the armor? Not the armor, the ammo. For example, like their LR-20s and short range SRMs. LRM and SRM and all that nonsense. The missile launcher specifically. I mean, the launching system is so large. The missiles are probably fairly large themselves. Where is the magazine? You've got like 5 or 6 rounds for a 20-round launch, or 5 or 6 volleys for a 20-round launcher. Where the fuck do you put that? Seriously. All right, I gotta catch up now. Good nation. All right. Orky talk. Yeah, I always have a hard time translating that. Titan AE is a hot mess, but it's still a fun mess. Oh, that's interesting, Rodent. I didn't quite realize that Battlestar Galactica was right on the cusp of streaming, I guess, was it? Yeah, that has to be a challenging episode, or challenging concept. Yeah, the mass, well, I mean, we talked about the mass before, Lawrence Frazier, when we talked about the herbal mech, and I'm willing to go along with the idea that tons in Battletech MechWarrior are not the tons that are being used on your planet right now, and fine. That's an easy hand wave that answers all the questions. The volume makes absolutely no sense, though. Alright, so we're going to give ourselves 3 shield bubbles since no one else complained. Alright. And yes, we can in fact look at our crew and see how they're all doing across the board. Here. I guess we should maybe start cross-training our people at some point, but you know what? They're getting good enough at their jobs that we can, although I guess door job is not actually a job, and sensors isn't actually a job. So you guys are kind of supernumeraries. Sorry. Oops. Anyways, moving on! Oh no, they're catching up. Alright. Now that would be an amazing reboot. Robot Jocks? Yeah. I need to do an episode about that, simply because at its time, it was something amazing. It has not aged well, but at its time, it was amazing. Well, I mean, Siege of Amontillado, the movie, the Pacific Rim movie actually talks about how they tried to use fixed defenses against the kaiju, and it simply wasn't enough. They couldn't bring enough volume of fire to bear on the kaiju in time to bring it down. Now, I don't really know how a massive mecha can inflict more damage on said kaiju than a whole collection of massive turrets shooting massive guns, But they at least addressed the concept, if not, well, they didn't adequately answer it, but it did come up in verse at least. I hear what you're saying, introverted extrovert, but I think I'm going to hit this one and then this one, and then if we still have time, well, no, I guess we could. Yeah, okay. I see now I see what you're saying. Ah, got it. I'm not slow. I'm just slow. Moving on. The beacon at first glance seems home to a junkyard. Upon closer inspection, it reveals itself to be a ramshackle market. One trader has a deal that catches your eye. Yeah, because we don't need droids! Drones, whatever they're called. I will definitely take fuel in exchange for droids, drones, robot things. Perfect. Alright. Now we've got more than enough fuel and quite a few missiles, especially since we aren't currently using the Artemis at all.
What's the little...
It's got to be like an interface thing. That's weird. Alright, fine. Moving on. Alright. Here we go. Try to stay ahead. You pick up an automated message from a nearby space station. There appears to be a local shipwright that can perform emergency work on military ships. I'm down. Oh, damn it. Well, I got no scrap, so I guess we're not going to take that. Oh well. Alright. I mean, I'm kind of sad that we couldn't upgrade our piloting system, but like we talked about before, all that does is allow my pilot to leave his station and the ship can still do 50% evasion. I don't typically take my pilot out of his station, and I should save everyone where they are right now before I forget again. I typically use other people because, you know, evasion is kind of an important skill in this game. So, yeah. Alright, let's see here. Anything else interesting going on in chat? I mean, so non-energy weapon-based franchise. Expanse actually did a fairly decent job about this. It's conceivable that the ship could carry the number of torpedoes it did. And I believe there were some instances where the PDCs got jammed and people had to go out there and unjam them and reload the drums and so on and so forth. Beyond that, projectile-based weapons that are fairly realistic. That's an interesting question. I mean, there are some universes where that is the case, Woodgreen, where the pilots are simply neurally linked into their ship and they're literally plugged in. But that's Warhammer stuff, and we don't do a whole lot of that here. Oh, no. I'm pretty sure if we hit here and we hit here, we're going to have a hell of a fight getting out. But, alright, who wants to bug out and who wants to go for it? Because why not? We have no idea what's in the top right. We do know what's going to be in the bottom if we go that direction, but could be entertaining, could be a mess. We should have... Wait, why don't we have 3 shield bubbles? No, because I didn't remember to actually energize the shields. Ah! There we go. 3 shield bubbles. All good. We got a lot of bug out. We got a lot of bug out. We got a lot of go for it, too. All right. We'll be, you know, you humans love your balls, so we'll be ballsy. Here we go. You cross paths with an NG cargo vessel hurrying home before the Mantis fleets attempt to take over this... Wait, what? The NG are being invaded? That sucks. They're happy to offload some of their cargo to get home faster. Well, we got some fuel, a missile, and a lot more scrap. Nice. All right. Now it's time... Oh. Rule 10. Greed is eternal. Ha! The Ferengi have been here. And I do love that is Rule 10, in fact. I wonder if that is... Hold on. I got to look this up real quick. Rules of acquisition, right? Is that actually Rule 10? Because if it is actually Rule 10, I will be very... Yep, it is! Rule 10 is actually greed is eternal. That's awesome. All right. You gotta love it when nerds make space games because they do it right. Oh my gosh. Now we can bug it. Yeah. Hey, good call on whoever decided to go up because it looks like we'll be able to make it out just fine. You've arrived at a long-range beacon. When the FTL drive is charged, you can jump to the next sector. Uh-oh. Another rebel checkpoint is monitoring this location. A number of civilian vessels are waiting inspection. Any of them could be Federation loyalists. The rebels haven't noticed you yet. Fend for yourself, attack and escape. Bribe the rebel vessels to release the civilian ships. Or stay out of the way and charge your own FTL drive. I say we, yeah. So anyways, he started blasting. I mean, Bren, you get me, man. Yeah. Because we got to get some more equipment on board this boat of ours. I mean, we're doing good in the ammo department. I could use some more scrap and maybe get a second or fourth shield bubble. Excuse me, math is hard. I mean, we've got enough guns to take down a rebel ship, I think. I hope. Maybe. Let's give it a shot. Why not? Since we seem to be split on the option. So that's when the gun suddenly went off. Oopsie-doo, there was a firefight. Here we go. Okie dokie, what do we got here? Oh, he's got droids. But they appear to just be repair or combat and repair droids. Okay, so he doesn't have attack droids or whatever the hell. What is it? Anti-personnel drones, not ship attack drones. He does in fact have a missile launcher, which I think we're going to take out. So weapons first. And Brad, I think I may have been playing this game long enough to encounter the red shirt thing yet, or before previously. So, yeah. It's clear that whoever made this game, and I should look that up and give them appropriate credit, does love them some science fiction. And there was a laser fight. You're not wrong, Sean. I like it. All right, here we go. We are going to unpause and just blast this guy. Blap, 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 blap. All right, weapons are down. We reconfigured to take out their shields now. And the heavy laser can maybe... Heavy laser recharges too fast. Its timing is all off. Yeah. And their shields are down. All right. And then we knock their weapons back out again, because I really don't want to get hit by a missile. We've been doing pretty good on the hull department. Our integrity is still maxed out, and I want to keep it that way. Thank you very much. And that stupid little repair droid is going to repair that. Well, he almost got the missile online, and never mind. It's hard to get the missile launcher online when the entire ship falls apart. The ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useless scrap material. 1 fuel, 1 missile, and 42 scrap. Alright. To get 1 more bubble, 180 plus 60. We're going to be a minute from upgrading our shields significantly. That's annoying. We could upgrade our engines. 40 plus 30 is less than we have. That would get us up to a dodge of 25. An FTL of 2x, which is only really useful in those situations where you have the solar flare situation going on. Let's see. Where we go? And shepherds we shall be for thee, my lord, for thee. What a fascinating movie your planet created. The sequels, I would argue, did not live up to the original, but as always, it's hard to capture lightning in the same bottle twice. The combination of the actors and the writing and the staging and just everything else was just perfect. And it doesn't help that I don't necessarily disagree with the Boondock Saints themselves. I acknowledge that the laws on your planet typically frown on their behavior and their activities, but this is the way of things. Medbay or save it for shields? Yeah. But if I bump the medbay, I have to bump the power plant too. And if I bump the power plant, then we can't double up for the shield because then we'll be in the fifth column. And then things get really expensive. I think I'm going to save it. Does this symbiote make my butt look big? Well, yeah. You don't hear that? Okay, hold on. Let's back up a second. Riker had a symbiote in him at some point, right? If I remember right. One of the normies on the Enterprise had a symbiote in him. And oddly, his torso did not, appreciably grow after or during the experience. Because, they shoved I don't know, what does that look like? 15-pound organism into his abdominal cavity? That's got to go somewhere. Where did all the volume and mass go? And you know what, Brian? If we can find Montgomery Scott, I will be happy to hire him. But last I heard, he was cruising the Alpha Quadrant in a very nicely tricked out shuttlecraft, and I cannot imagine a better retirement than that. Alright, I think we're not going to do any upgrades right now. And I think that means we have pretty much wrapped up this hour of FTL. Because right now we're going to get the hell out of here before they come and shoot us in the head. Well, there are no choices at this point, so I guess we're going to the NG-controlled sector. So, yeah, no one gets to have a vote in this one, because there's only one way out. I'm always intrigued at how these trees get developed, but that's a different conversation, because this is not always the pattern that they follow. Occasionally it's a more diverse structure. But regardless, I guess we're going to the NG-controlled sector. Off we go, bloop. You have arrived at NG space again. The Manjas have been threatening the NG core world. Ah, that explains it. But you should be able to stock up for your journey. Continue. All right, my sophonts and other sophonts. This has been, as always, an enjoyable time. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And we will try to make this a regular recurring event. Scheduling allowing might be more complicated, but we'll see what we can do. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do, and we'll be back again somehow trying to get our little crew across the galaxy, across multiple galaxies, apparently, and defeat the rebel mothership. Somehow. Maybe. We'll see. I appreciate that, introverted extrovert, but keep digging in your couch for the actual fundraiser that we're going to be doing, and then we'll see what we can do from that. Blech. I don't even know what the P1112 Ion is. I'll have to look that up and get back to you, Smaka. And, yeah, I think that's all. Y'all have a good one, all right? And, as always, good night and good luck.